What's up, y'all? This is Francisco with Covenant Dispatch LLC, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Since I've made my last video, I've gotten about 37 different subscribers, and I've gotten a lot of comments and things like that. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who has subscribed so far, and for those of you who have been watching my videos. I promise to give you guys great content and great information in regards to independent freight dispatching. Now, I'm gonna try to start making videos every Friday as best as I can, just to keep feeding you guys information. So, in this specific video, I wanted to basically just go over some of the services that you can offer as an independent freight dispatcher. Now, you're going to want to remain competitive, and to remain competitive, you're going to have to offer services that other companies might not offer, right? And so what I'm going to do is share a few different services that you can offer, and then I'm going to give you guys two gems, two services or things that I do in my own independent freight dispatch company to remain competitive and to just generate more passive income. And so really quick, let me just jump into it. Number one is dispatching, right? Obviously, as an independent freight dispatcher, you're gonna wanna offer dispatching services. Now, this includes signing rate confirmations, keeping in contact with the broker, filling out broker packets, keeping track of the drivers, making sure they're getting to their pickup locations, drop-off locations, making sure you're able to give an estimated time of arrival, and things of that nature, right? Most freight dispatch companies offer this service because they're supposed to. They're a dispatching company. But then I'm gonna go over some of the other ones that people offer. The other one is invoicing, right? Other companies offer invoicing, factoring services. Now, just as a word of advice, I advise or recommend that all of your carriers that you dispatch for is set up with a factoring company, because if they're not, that makes you responsible as the independent freight dispatcher to keep track of all the invoicing, making sure all the brokers are paying the carriers on time. Now remember, it's an industry standard for brokers to pay the carriers anywhere from 20 to 30 days. So if they're not set up with a factoring company who purchased the invoice that same day and pays the carrier the next day, you're gonna have to keep track of all of those invoices. So it just makes a headache for you. But if you wanted to offer that service and just charge a higher percentage or a higher fee for your services, that's totally up to you guys. But basically, this service includes invoicing. It also includes taking all the invoicing paperwork, sending it to the factoring company so that the carrier can get paid, right? Number three, this is not necessarily a service, but when you're marketing your services, you're gonna wanna offer that you understand and know what TONU and detention is. So really briefly, TONU stands for truck order not in use. Basically, I'll give you an example. If you send a carrier to go pick up a load and you get there and the broker says, hey, I'm sorry, man, the shipper canceled the load. Unfortunately, they want it picked up tomorrow or something. You tell the broker, you say, hey, listen, you basically just wasted our time, wasted fuel. Can we get issued a TONU compensation? So you as an independent freight dispatcher, you're gonna wanna know these things so that you can fight on behalf of your carrier so that your carrier can get compensated, right? The other one is detention. Now, detention basically, if you send a carrier to go pick up, let's say, a load somewhere and the pickup time's 9 a.m. Well, let's say they don't pick up the load until 1 p.m. A detention fee basically is the time allocated after 2 hours of them waiting, of the carrier waiting. So let's say it's 9 a.m. that the load's supposed to be picked up, but they don't get loaded until 1 p.m. Now, I know, guys, I suck at math, but let's do it together, right? 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 hours have passed. Now it's time to get paid detention past the 2 hours. So 11, 12, 1. So for 2 hours, they're gonna compensate you the time that the carrier had to wait, which was 2 hours after the original 2 hours that sets the time for detention. And so basically, again, as a carrier, you're just gonna wanna know what that is, and you're gonna wanna market that as a service. Like, hey, we fight for TONU, we fight for detention, right? We fight for good rates, right? So the other one, now these last two are services that I specifically offer in my own company. One of them I'm working on now, but just again, to remain competitive and generate passive income. Now, as you can see in this photo right here, this is a check, right? This is a check of a factoring company that paid me as a part of their referral program, right? So the other one is factoring referral. Basically, what I mean by that is this: a factoring company, in order to get set up with them, you must be a broker or a carrier. You must have an MC number, right? Because the factoring company is going to pay you in advance, right? And so if you're not a broker or a carrier, you can't necessarily get set up with a factoring company, but this is what you can do. You can contact the factoring company. Most factoring companies offer referral programs, meaning they say, hey, for every carrier or broker whom you get set up with us, we'll pay you X amount of dollars as long as they factor with us for maybe like a week or two. Or maybe if they just factor a few loads, different factoring companies will have different stipulations. But what you want to do is you want to call a factoring company and you say, hey, I'm in contact with a lot of different brokers, a lot of different new carriers. I can refer your company to these people, to these carriers, that they get set up with you. Is there a way that I can get set up on your referral program? Now, why would a factoring company not want to do that? All they do is issue you a link and they say, hey, here, get set up on our website or whatever. And they issue you a link, and on that link, you're able to basically send it to different carriers and whatnot. And they click on that link and get set up with the factoring company through that link, and that adds them to your referral program money that they pay. And then whatever they pay for their referral program, they'll issue you the check. Again, as I showed you earlier in this video, that photo of that check. Now, guys, if you, let's say, only get, now that check was $500 for each person that I get set up, they pay me $500, right? So let's just say I get 3 people set up in a month's time. That means I generated $1,500 for the month, passive income. And if I wanted to go a little bit harder, I can, right? If I wanted to market it more, I can generate more income as passively through this service alone, right? Now, the last one is accounting. Now, again, remember, you are bridging the gap for all administrative need. What you can do is you can tell the company, look, I can also offer accounting, right? And so not only as you as an independent freight dispatcher, not only are you offering dispatching, but you're invoicing and factoring. Not only are you doing that, but you're fighting for the tow and detention. Not only are you doing that, but you're adding this strategy in your within your company to generate passive income. But not only that, you're able to also offer accounting. Now, this is something that I'm working on now in my own company to offer, so that I can generate, so that I can remain competitive as opposed to other dispatching companies that may not offer that. And so, guys, if you don't know what TONU means, detention means, invoice factoring, if you don't know what some of these terms mean, I recommend that I offer a 6-video course step-by-step into detail about all this stuff. I'll place the link under this video. I also offer one-on-one coaching and things like that. Again, both of the links will be under the video so that you guys can get a better understanding of some of these things, because you want to know a lot of these things before you get started. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for my next video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.